So can you register the trademark yourself? For those, again, that have got trademarks, you'll probably know that what I was talking about with qualifications, you've got to be a bit wary about doing it yourself. Do you know the rules of what is acceptable? The things that I was talking about before, is it sufficiently unique? It's not going to qualify. So if you file an application, you're going to get an objection. And if you file a standard application, the time frame at the moment on the trademark register for the examiners to look at it is 3 months. So you won't know for 3 months whether a brand is actually going to be accepted for registration. That means, do you hold all your plans for that 3 months? If you're a small business person, and a lot of the ones I've met, they don't want to be waiting around for 3 months. They want to know straight away. So there is a way that you can do a shorter time frame, and that's part of the strategy that you need to know with registration. Another thing that people do often is they don't understand how the strategy behind filing. So is it a word, or is it a combination, or should I do separate, should I do together? So that can make a huge difference to what you do, and there's a strategy behind that, particularly if you're going overseas, because if you don't get it right in the first place and you're going to base the Australian application on overseas applications, well, you're basing it on an application that is flawed in the first place. So it's critical to get it right, not only for the brand itself, but for the classes. There's 45 classes. Now, how many do you need? And within the wording, what wording do you need? It's critical if the wording is not right, because that can lead to grey areas and disputes. So it's critical to get it right in the first place, because once you get a trademark registered, it's for 10 years and you can't change it. So get it right in the first place. Excuse me.
So at the end of 10 years, do you do it, nothing's changed essentially?
At the end of 10 years, you pay a renewal fee, and unless you're challenged, you can just keep renewing it every 10 years. There are some countries that are different, and you might have found that. In the US, for example, between the years 5 and 6 of the 10-year term, you have to provide a statutory declaration and evidence of the use that you've done in that time to maintain the registration. And if you don't do that, and if you haven't got the evidence, then it can be taken off the register, and then you're not protected there. So in the US, and there's a couple of other countries like that that we were talking about, are a bit different to the norm, but the risk for trademark registration for even having it registered is if you don't use it, you lose it. So someone can challenge you. If someone wants to use a brand that's similar to yours and you've had it registered, say, for 5 years and haven't used it, but you want to still keep it, they can challenge your registration and the trademark can be removed for non-use. And then they can get trademark registration of the brand. So that's the risk of use it or lose it.
Is that the only way you can have a registered trademark taken away?
There are
once
some...
you've got it, you're using it, that's set in concrete?
That's right, yes. There are a couple of circumstances. Say you had not registered for as long as 5 years, but if there was someone else that had been using it for, say, 20 years but had never registered it, they could say that I've been using this, I have a reputation in that name, and so they can challenge the registration of the brand, or they could challenge it in the application stage.
Yeah. After application stage, once it's granted. So
yes, even then, yes, they could challenge it, because they might not have become aware of it. It's harder.
Is that a court case, or is that a...
You appeal first to the Trademarks Office and deal with it from there first, and then if you're not happy, you can appeal to the courts. Again, lots of money. So when we do the research, it's always a good idea to do marketplace research as well. So it's not only about the register. There are companies that use it, that's a 70%. If they've been using it for a very long time and not trademarked, they have what's called common law rights in a brand. It's more expensive to defend because you've got to provide that evidence, and that's, you're getting all that evidence together and putting it in a stat deck, and it involves a lot of time and money. So it's better not to have to do that, but that can happen. So there's not very many circumstances. Once you're registered, that's it.